it, are we? Freedom ain't a dream, it's a long stretch of highway. It's the thrill of the road, the facing the wind. It's where you're going, not where you
Well, hello, tubers. I figured I would bring you along while I do some errands and shoot a video. Save a little bit of time. Well, today let's talk about relationships. And I'm finding so many people, men and women, they're just, it's everything's hit or miss. Everybody's either avoiding relationships, which is probably a pretty good smart default position to take, or rushing into them really quick and finding out that's really a dumb idea. And it seems like we all have to learn this the hard way, because I've definitely made that mistake when I was younger. Now I've learned, and when I see people that just meet and barely know each other and they're already, living together, I wonder, well, who's got cancer? Who's about to die? Because if you're not about to die, what's the hurry? Because the consequences of commingling assets and all your lives together, trying to extract yourself out of that is a complete pain in the ass. And if you're a nomad like I am, it would even be worse for me, because I wouldn't want to be stuck in Kalamazoo and wondering what the hell am I going to do with this other person that my wallet is strapped to. Not to say that it can't work out for a few people, especially religious people that shame and families keep them together. Personally not my cup of tea, but if you have some sort of belief system that requires you to stay married, even if things suck, well, great for you, bad for me. Live and let live. Let people choose their poison. But yeah, there's something going on in terms of those that hook up too quickly and start living together. There's some sort of component of validation people are looking for in other people. When true peace and happiness, it actually comes from within. You can never meet somebody that's going to complete you. If you believe that, you're going to set yourself up for an amazing disappointment. Now, you can meet people that are fun to be around, great in bed, fun to look at even. But in the end, you're going to have to tick almost all the boxes for the relationship to truly make it, a lifetime commitment. So, let's face it, we're all getting more fickle and less tolerant of bullshit. And at the first sign of problems, somebody's leaving. That's usually me. One of my many faults, as I've discussed before. But I still find it remarkable. Oh, going over some train tracks. I find it remarkable that some people don't learn these truisms of to be prudent, slow, and careful when getting to know somebody. And this isn't directed just at men or women, it's directed at both genders, because I've seen this pervasive neediness going on for a long time. And it never tends to work out well. Whereas if you are stoic, calm, and filled with confidence and have no sense of urgency, you've got a way better chance of having a relationship work. Now, my perspective, I have a very unorthodox way of looking at relationships. I have a lot of women in my life, some of which fulfill different areas. It's like when you're baking a pie, you need many, many ingredients to put in that pie. And I have women that are like a little sister to me. I have women that are like a big sister to me. I have women who I have intimate relations with. There are women that I just love to hang out with because they're funny. They're like a buddy, so to speak. So I don't put all my needs of female companionship on one person's shoulders, because I think that's just too much to burden. And it's just nice to have a lot of diversity of female companionship too. That way you're never bored. Hey, one big advantage of polygamy that you Mormons really missed out on. You should have pushed the issue. Not that I would want to live personally and commingle my assets with 40 wives, but I'm sure polygamy does have its brighter moments. Which is ironic for me to bring up polygamy, because there's a big court battle raging here in British Columbia, because our government has done a very poor job of stopping this group called the Reformed Latter-day Saints, and they practiced polygamy in the interior of British Columbia for decades, and the authorities have ignored them in spite of what the law says. They've actually even given them money to educate their children, and it'd be interesting to see what happens with that court battle. And if they win and eventually polygamy is ruled by the Supreme Court of Canada to be legal, I think you'd have to have rocks in your head to actually sign up for that. But far be it for me to stop you from doing it if you so desired. But at that point, I would think that your misery would be a source of my amusement, because sometimes I think half the world just exists for me to be amused, or at least that's how it's presented to me. Because when I see people making really jackass decisions in their personal life, especially when they meld romance and money and it don't work out, I always say to myself, well, what the hell were you thinking in the first place when you tried to bring a stripper home to visit your mom? You know, trying to make hoes into housewives, and trying to bring a third world wife to the first world and expect it's going to work out in spite of cultural, religious, and socioeconomic differences. Now, I know there's some success stories out there, and some of you may even make comments down below about them, but I think the success stories are definitely the exception rather than the rule. So in the end, folks, I'm going to close this out and say, take your time, for God's sakes, with relationships. And if a relationship sucks and doesn't tick most of the boxes, you shouldn't be with that person. It's time to call a lawyer. That's just how I think. In the meantime, folks, you stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you soon. Keep your wheels on the ground. Over and out.